In both the United States and Europe, the most common solution to overcrowding in the cities is the creation of suburbs. The difference, though, is that those responsible for these new projects in Europe appear to have been more aware of the confines of space. Suburbs in Europe could easily be confused as simply another piece of the city, if maybe a little bit more consciously planned. But the American suburb has an affinity for sprawl. Much of the land is taken up by either parking lots, vast lawns, or by personal property. And this is possible to do in America, at least for now. We have relatively abundant space for these new projects and a strong enough economy so that there are enough wealthy people to inhabit them. In a way, this is an effective allegory for what could be labeled the American dream, which has long been associated with the ability to have a job, at least one car, 2 children, a house, and a white picket fence. But I think the white picket fence is more telling than it seems. America is the land of opportunity, where it's possible for you to claim your own parcel of land and to hold dominion over it. It's guaranteed by law that your property is truly your own. Nobody, not the government, not your neighbors, can mess with it without your permission. The suburb allows this dream to be realized. It has much more abundant space than the city and isn't associated with the labor of the true countryside. The problem is that the system is entirely contrived. Dominion over property can only truly be expressed by things like lawn care, home improvement, and holiday decoration, most of which is entirely unnecessary on the grand scale. Lawns don't need to be watered every day, especially at a time when fresh drinking water is becoming increasingly scarce. And there's a contradiction, too, between the need to be king and castle and the human desire to be social. This is something that suburban developments have tried to address by labeling themselves as communities with catchy little names. And sure, you can get to know your neighbors pretty well if you choose to do so, but you have to choose it. I think we're losing something pretty special in that we're surrendering our opportunity for chance encounters. As more people pour out of the cities into the suburbs, the only people we encounter are those we invite into our homes. While this may be safer, it also limits our exposure to diversity. It allows us to slide into the comfortable scenario of surrounding ourselves with people like ourselves. And it doesn't help that, although racial wealth inequality has undoubtedly improved since the mid-20th century, the suburbs still show the effects of the white flight in the 70s, when many white families left the cities and moved to the suburbs, creating a new wave of segregation. Perhaps the suburban sprawl is just an intermediary between the era of the city and a utopian future where all can live happily in their own home with a perfect level of privacy. But I find it hard to believe that this self-imposed isolation is in any way good for our society. It's a sad sight to see city centers all across the nation turning ghostly and desolate. We may never return to a time where we run into friends on the street, or meet new people when out shopping, or reach out a helping hand when we see people in need. Perhaps Main Street America is dead. I suppose only time and the culture of a new generation will tell.